Okay, we are recording. I'm going to go back to screen share. Okay, so tonight's call, see if I can get this to move because I got all you guys down at the bottom here. There we go. Is on relationship building. So I want you guys to know something really important. This is how I build relationships. So it doesn't mean that this is a fast and true way. It doesn't mean that Carrie does everything that I'm about to share with you. It doesn't mean that everything that I'm going to share with you is what you're going to be able to use. But I wanted to give you guys actual hands-on strategies and things that have worked for me. So these things really work for me. This whole training is based on what I have done from the beginning of my business to now to get the relationships that I have, okay? So why are relationships in this business so important? Well, as we all know, women are social creatures, and we really are, especially me because I'm a big chatter. When we have a relationship with someone, we don't feel awkward asking for parties or sharing the opportunity. Hence why we wait till that relationship is built before we offer the opportunity, unless you have that 1 in a million lady who already knows they want to join, okay? So then you don't necessarily have to have that relationship. Someone you have a relationship with trusts you and trusts your opinion. So they're going to trust your opinion when you're at the party and you're suggesting what's going to work well with that product, or when you're posting something in your group. Because you have a relationship with them, they're going to trust that you know that that's the right product for them. I have been, and I think you guys can all agree, and have probably been in the same situation. Oh, someone's not muted. I've been in a situation where I've actually told someone not to buy a specific product because it just isn't what suits them, or I know it's not going to do what they need it to do for them, or I know it's out of their budget. I've done that before where I've said, you know what, this is not in your budget. Like, let's look at something else. And that's because of the relationship I have with them, okay? So the foundation of our business is based around the relationships that we have with our customers. And this is so important. You are going to have the occasional customer, the occasional hostess that you may not have that solid relationship with, that will buy from you maybe at every outlet sale or buy from you every once in a while. You're going to have that. But the real core foundation of our business is really around these relationships that we build with our customers. I'm going to have to do a whole other training on why we have to build our relationships with our team. So I'm not going to get into the team stuff, but that's also very, very, very important too. So now we're going to get into the fun part, which is how to build relationships. So this is what I have done at home parties. So I introduce myself to every woman at the party. I'm set up and I'm ready to go, hopefully, usually, before the guests arrive so they can greet them at the door and introduce myself. And it's too bad Libby's not on the call, because at Libby's party, I did exactly this. So I was all set up, I was ready to go. And before the first person arrived, I'm standing, at the door with Libby, just chit-chatting or whatever. And as the women came in, I introduced myself. But I also spoke to my hostess ahead of time and said, listen, I want you to tell the ladies when they come in how you know me and what our relationship is like. So then I ask these ladies how they know our hostess and to give me 2 to 4 words to describe her. Now, I used to do this when I was doing my presentation. Now I do it at the door or when they come in, okay? So I write these words on a card that I present to the hostess with her "You Are You" key fob at the beginning of my presentation. And that we'll get into more when we do our training on parties, okay? So as we're waiting for guests to arrive, I listen to the women talking, and this is really important. And I think if you're in the field like Carrie and I think you have that ability right away, because we listen to every little word that somebody says to kind of pick up on, well, is that person having a good time? Does that person have a really strong relationship with the hostess? Does that person have a really strong personality and might fit really well within our team? So I pick up on what they're saying, and if possible, I continue to ask them open-ended questions to continue the conversation and to get to know them better. When I have a minute, I make notes on my phone. This is important. This is really, really important, especially for people like me who have short memories. So I will open up my note app and write down really quickly. So let's say Amanda talked about kids. So I'll put kids, 4 kids, divorced. You're not a divorced Amanda. I'm talking about an imaginary Amanda. 4 kids, divorced, never gets out and has any time by herself. I need that information because as I'm building a relationship with her and as we're at checkout, I'm going to say to her, you don't get any time for you. So why don't we book a fun girls' night for you where you're going to get celebrated and you're going to have some fun. Okay. So write down that important information. And then after the party, once I'm home, I enter their name and contact information into my customer database. So you can do that however you do it. You could put it in your back office. You can put it on your phone. You could put it on a sheet. Excuse me. I also add the notes and information. I'm going to take you guys for a walk because I need a drink. The notes and the information that I have learned about them. So things to document could be if they're married, how many kids they have, what they do for a living, how they know the hostess, what products they really loved, what they didn't care for, their personality. So while you're listening to this training, see if you can come up with a few things that aren't listed there that we can talk about in the Q&A part, okay? Next one. Okay, so during the party, I observe a lot. I observe how the women are speaking to each other, who seems to be outgoing, who seems to be maybe introverted or quiet. This gets all documented and can prove to be beneficial in a recruiting interview, which I'll go over in another training. But basically in the recruiting interview, if I know that someone's really outgoing, I'm going to talk to them about, how easy it's going to be for them to do a party, like to be a consultant and do a party, or I might use it for a hostess conversation. Well, you're going to be able to get all your friends here and it's going to be a blast just with you in the room, never mind me and my products. So when I've picked up on who is fun and super outgoing, I may call upon them for questions or for fun things. So I may say things like, hey, Mary says she gets no time to herself. Who would like to hang out again at Mary's fun girls night? We need to have a lot of wine at Mary's party. So you want to be funny. So Alicia Willardson, which I've talked to you guys about, the direct sales coach, she talks about you need to be fun, you need to be funny, you need to be entertaining, and there's two other things that I can't think of off the top of my head. But you need to not just do your presentation and then sit down and take orders, right? We need to be funny and fun, and it takes practice. I wasn't fun at my first couple of parties. I think Carrie can contest to that, but she's on mute, so she can't say nothing. But we did have fun at Carrie's party, though. So anyways, during the party, I ask open-ended questions to get to know the ladies more. So things like, who has a bunch of kids? Because I want to know, let's be honest, if we have a bunch of kids, or even if we only have one or two, but we don't get any time to ourselves, that's going to be important to her to suggest, hey, have you thought about having a fun girls' night or afternoon where you can have your friends over, or we can do it at a restaurant, or we can go to a coffee shop, or, have you thought about maybe joining my team so that you can get some time for you? So these questions are really, really important for as you build upon that relationship. And then I'll say things like, who can identify with me that they have no counter space in their bathroom? And then this can get some really fun conversations going, right? Like we could say, oh yeah, I've only got the one sink in my bathroom and my husband and I, fight over where our toiletries and crap go. But now I use 31. So I have my True Beauty bag that's sitting right on the counter that's got all of my makeup in, which I'm going to transfer because of the new catalog. I'm going to transfer that to the Clear as Day Duo because that's how I'm going to promote that bag. I'm going to promote it as a makeup bag. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about how you have my Clear as Day Duo sitting right on the counter, and my husband, all my stuff is there and his crap can't get mixed in with mine. At checkout, I continue to build the relationship by asking more open-ended questions and getting to know them and their needs and wants better. So again, I want you to write down one or two questions that you think would be really helpful that you could ask at checkout, and we'll discuss that at the question and answer. If time permits, I often, and I think I did this at Carrie's, I stick around after everyone is checked out, and you continue to build upon the relationships. Now, some parties you're not going to do that. Some parties you're going to pick up on the vibe that those women maybe haven't seen each other in 10 years, and they just want to have their time, and then you'll pick up on that and you'll leave, right? But then there's a lot of the parties where they want you to stay and you can build upon that relationship. I ask every guest at the party, this is new, so I've just started this. It was very successful at my last party. I ask every guest at the party to take out their cell phone and join my customer group right then and there. And I explain how fun it is and how crazy I am and talk about my nutso videos and that it's not a typical Facebook group, and say something to my hostess like, right, Mary, my videos are a little nuts, right? Like, you know that my videos are crazy and I'm spontaneous and we have a lot of fun in my group. And she'll respond with, oh my God, you have to join Kyla's group, because we've already discussed this in her hostess coaching, right? But it's also true. So it's so much fun. And then I give them one ticket into my draw for joining my customer group. Then I ask them right then and there, again, I just started this and it's worked out beautifully, to text me their cell number. So something that I have kind of picked up on in the year that I've been doing this is a lot of women are not reading my emails. And I figured this out specifically the last month since I've been using MailChimp. MailChimp is free. I put my contacts in it, I do up my customer email, and I shoot it off. And then I can actually look at the statistics of that email, and it shows me who opened it. So I'm seeing that a whole bunch of women are engaging in my closed customer group, but those women are not reading my email. And you know why? Because we get like, I don't know, I don't think I can show you. I'll have to show you when we get off. But I have like 188 unread emails on my phone. I don't have time to read email, but I read a text. I read every single text. I may not read it right away. I may not be able to respond to it right away, but I read every text. And it is out there, the statistic is that every text it's 100% read, right? Whereas the emails aren't. So anyways, I tell them to text my cell number right then and there with their name and something silly about themselves. This is another thing for me to build upon when I'm building that relationship with them. So if they say something like, fish scare me, I can like maybe, send something the next day and say, hey, I heard that, I remember that you said that fish scare you, and I'm sitting at Red Lobster right now. Want to see what I'm eating? So you can build upon your relationship that way. And then they earn another entry. Right now I do one draw. So that draw gives them tickets from bringing a friend, tickets for RSVPing in the online portion before the home party, or if it's an online party, they get a ticket for another section in my party, again, which I'll go through in another training that's coming up about when they ask me questions about my job. Okay, or about what I love about 31. So anyways, this allows me to have their contact info even if they don't place an order. I now have their cell number. Okay, so, and they've hopefully joined my customer group. And if they leave, they leave. But I mean, from the last party that I did, every single woman joined my customer group. Every single woman is still in my customer group. Okay, so just a little tidbit of information there. So after the party and going forward, the day after the party, I text, email, or Facebook message, and I would say get rid of the email unless it's a lady that didn't have a text. Some people don't text, not a lot, but some. And I message every single one of them that I have contact info for, whether they ordered or not. And I ask them open-ended questions. Hey, it was so great meeting you last night. I hope you had a lot of fun. What was your favorite part about the party? Or it was great that you guys hadn't seen each other in 10 years. Tell me you guys closed the night down at like 5 a.m. So again, open-ended questions, and you keep going. You may not want to text them every single day. Hopefully they're in your customer group, and you're going to build upon that relationship in your customer group as well. So as I've got here, I build relationships in my customer group as well with engaging posts and open-ended questions that allow me to learn more about the people in my group. So thinking of this and thinking of the sale tomorrow, I posted a really interactive engagement post in my group tonight. I believe it was the movies A to Z. I can't remember who. I stole it from one of you. I don't know who I stole it from. One of you girls posted that. I think it might have been Michelle. Anyways, I posted that, and here's why. Because I've got numerous amounts. So let's say there's 60, 70 people that have commented, and maybe not 70 people, but 60, 70 comments on there. That's going to push it up to end up in my customers in my group, or the people in my group's news feed, which means tomorrow morning when I post about the outlet sale or the end of season sale, they're all going to see it in their news feed, because Facebook has figured out excuse me, that I have. Carrie looks frozen. Carrie better not be frozen. But anyway, so it's going to keep going into their news feed, okay? So, but before you want to post something that you really want people to pay attention to, do an engagement post, okay? Next. Okay, so ways to build relationships. So communicate often. This is a big thing. What you guys also need to think about is think about how you build a relationship with your girlfriends, with the friends that you meet at work, with your coworkers, with whoever. Angela, are you no, you're not frozen. Okay, good. I'm just going to, I wonder if I can scroll down. Just want to make sure that everybody can see me. Oh, hi, Allie. Hi, honey. Oh, and Carrie's back. She's not frozen anymore. Good. Okay, so communicate often. Make sure that you're talking often, and you want to become friends with these people, so just do what you do naturally when you become friends with someone. I make an effort. This is important. I make an effort and plan this. So those of you that are using your planners to plan your days and your weeks, plan once a day, even if it's only for 10 minutes, that you're scrolling through your news feeds and that you're scrolling through your posts in your Facebook group so that you're commenting back to people, okay? So I try to scroll through my customers that are on my Facebook friends list newsfeed at least once a week. I engage on their posts and I always respond to every comment on my main profile or in my customer group. And something that I started today is the ladies that are in my customer group that I have started to build a relationship with, I'm adding 5 of them as friends, okay? Because I want them to see who I am as a person as well. If you're not comfortable with that, that's cool. But again, it's relationships, right? So you should be posting things on Facebook that you want your customers to see. So you shouldn't be posting things like, I effing hate Mondays or whatever. Make sure that you're, being a business person, if you're going to be adding your customers to your Facebook. Now you can also block, I found out, you can also block certain people from seeing posts. So if you want to still be able to say your FU posts or whatever, you can block out your customers. So make like a customer group. We'll talk about that another time. Text, message, or comment often to your client base. This is so important. Ask open-ended questions that allow the conversation to continue. So example, what do you do for a living? What do you do for fun? How do you know so-and-so? Oh, wow, we have these 4 friends in common. How do you know them? Do you like to travel? See if you can come up with a couple of other open-ended questions. This is really important. You need to be authentic. You need to be real and you need to be you. I am not a different person to my customers than I am to Carrie or to Michelle or my other friends. I'm the same person. I have different boundaries with my customers than I do with Carrie, but I'm still me. They still know who I am. So treat them just like anyone you would meet out and about and build a friendship with them like you would anyone else. This is really important. Relationship building takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. And that is really something to think about. When I posted last night about the lady that told me about her son, she was a hostess of mine from a party. And so I didn't really know her. So I was at a party. She decided to host, had her party for her, started to build a relationship with her through hostess coaching, built a relationship through her hosting the party and after the party. And she didn't feel comfortable before telling me about her son being at Ronald McDonald House and dying, but she felt comfortable telling me yesterday when we talked about how the GIVES program is so important to me. So think about the relationships, okay? So your friend has now become a customer. Now what? So let's say she wasn't a customer at the beginning. You've built this relationship with them and now they're a customer. You're going to still continue to build upon the relationship that you have been forming. Communicate often. And just so you know, ladies, I'm going to post this PDF in our group, okay? So don't have to take pictures. Like and comment on their Facebook posts or when they engage in your group. You need to be prompt. This is really important, and this is a real pet peeve of mine when somebody asks a question on their Facebook page and I respond to it with another question and then they don't respond. And I mean ever. I don't mean that I expect them to respond right then and there, but they never respond back to me. So if I feel that way, I know my customers are feeling that way. So it's really important that if you're going to do your engagement post in your group or on your profile page, that you're engaging with the people that are engaging with you. So trust or treat every customer as your most important customer. respond promptly to them, write down all important information that you learn about them. So I've talked about Trello. I have notes now in Trello. I have a customer database in there. And as I'm building my relationships, I'm adding information, because we can have hundreds and hundreds of customers and hundreds of friends, and that information could get wonky, right? So you want to know where it is. Friend them on Facebook. Once you feel that you have that good enough connection, friend them. Listen, truly listen to what they're saying. Be thankful for them, reward and celebrate them, give them incentives, shout out on their birthday, on their profile page, even if you're friends with them. The other way to do this is to have special events like hostess appreciation parties to show you are thankful for them, and then provide excellent customer service. So here's how you provide excellent customer service. And again, you may think of things that I don't have here, and I'd love to hear your ideas and your suggestions. So if there's something that I don't have here, please write it down and then you can share it with us. So resolve issues and complaints quickly and effectively. Don't leave them for a long period of time. Add value to their life. So you need to have a purpose to be in their life, not just 31 purpose, but like a purpose, right? Like add value to them. You're a good friend. You listen. You're always there when you're thinking about, like when I think about Carrie, like I know that Carrie's always there. I can call up Carrie. It may not need to be the same thing with your customers, but you need to add value, some kind of value to them. And then thinking of your 31 business, you need to offer solutions. You need to offer a fresh perspective. So again, as this is based on customer service, so show how you can make their life easier. So you can do that through videos, you can do that through posts, you could do that through images. And this is really funny, because I didn't really buy into this until I tried it, but it's true. So smile when you're talking to them, even through the phone. So if you're on the phone with somebody, like, I don't know if you guys can see me, I think you can, but a couple of times I've smiled, and I bet you can hear a difference in my voice when I smile. When I smile, I am happier, right? Like, so smile to them. Even when you're texting, your text may come out a little bit nicer or whatnot. Even emailing, it does make a difference. You want to maintain the relationship well after the sale. So don't get the sale and then drop them, right? Continue to build, upon that relationship. I treat my customers like I do my friends. My customers become my friends. Not every single one of them, let's be honest, because not every single person that I meet is going to be my friend. Like, let's be honest. But I tried my best to treat my customers like my friends. So that is the end of that part. I am going to go stop screen share. And we can all unmute ourselves. So was that better? Did you guys freeze? Was I freezing at all for you, Angela?
No, it was perfect.
Okay, so like I said, I closed everything that I have open except for that. I closed it, and I was told the muting would help. So yeah. Maybe that helped. Okay, so do we want to do, let's do question and answer. Like, does anybody have any questions? Nobody. Hi, Allison. Hi. I have to scroll over to the right to see you, Rhonda, and Michelle. Nobody has any questions? Does anybody have anything to add? Like when we think back to ways that you are open-ended questions, does anybody have any open-ended questions we could add? Wow, so I nailed this training and gave you everything.
Oh, yeah.
I worked hard on this one. I hope this was good. Did you find it helpful?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good.
Yep.
Okay, good.
My thing is, and it's always, and I know we've talked about it, and planning is key, but I do find finding the time, to engage and to, get out there and talk to people. That's a big thing with me is time.
You've got your planner. Have you started planning your days?
Honestly, no.
Okay, so before you even think about engaging with your customers, do the planning. Okay. The last video that I did on Tuesday night, I'll tag you in it after, we went through it. Rhonda and Tracy and I went through exactly how to plan out your planner. So the me time, date night, family time, full-time job. No, sorry, family time, parties, full-time job, everything else. And it's laid out in that video, Angela, on how to set that up. Set that up first. Set up your next 2 months. Plan your date nights. I even talk about in the video what a date night is. It doesn't mean going out for dinner. It doesn't mean that. It's just, I mean, once a month you should try to do that, but minimum. But it just basically talks about making sure that you have that time with your spouse, okay? So do that first. When you have that complete, post in the group. I'm gonna hold you. I'm gonna write this down. So I want you to.
I better write it down too.
I'll send you an email, or not an email. I'll send you a message with this. Okay. So you're gonna post in a group that you've finished your planner. Okay, that you planned your 2 months. And then after you've done that, then we'll talk about how you plan in the time to engage in your customer group and engage with your customers and engage in the Facebook group, because I know you're having a hard time balancing it all. And we do, and I'm telling you, you can ask Carrie. I was having like shit frenzies every month, every day, because I was not I don't feel that way anymore. And I honestly telling you, it's because, and I go through this in the video, but I honestly can tell you it's because of this. I'm planned. Okay, my life is planned.
But also, Kyla, too, in fairness, part of it is because you have your full-time job in the works right now, too, right?
Yeah.
So as detailed as this training was and as great as it was, trying to find the time to do that when you're back to working 8 hours a day is going to change, right?
Yeah, so I
would say, too, Angela, is get used to doing a lot of the things on your phone.
Yeah. Sorry, you froze. What did you say?
So any of that, like, get used to doing a lot of things on your phone.
Okay.
So any of that idle time that you have can now become productive time, right? Standing in line at the grocery store, you can shoot off one of those quick texts that you don't have time for, right? When you're sitting on the toilet, you can shoot off one. No, but seriously, right? You can answer a question. You can scroll through Facebook. Like, you got to do something while you're sitting there, right? Yeah. So when you go to do some of those idle things, have your phone handy, because then that idle time can become productive time.
And you know what's also been helpful for me is I often type, but I type so quickly with my fingers on my phone that I end up having to go back and rewrite it and whatever. So I've actually become addicted to Siri. So I will often do like Carrie just said, I could be making dinner, so I can stir the pot and I can sit there and go, Siri, write in a note that I need to contact Angela to see if she did her planning. And she just writes the note, right? Like, it's super quick. It doesn't take me 5 minutes because I'm anal about that. Like, I'll go back and I recorrect it and I look over it 5 times. So yeah. But yeah, and there's no rush. Don't rush to get your planning done. When you get when you get your 2 months planned, even if you wanted to start off with a month, Angela, plan February.
Okay.
And you don't need to put parties and crap like that in there. Plan your time first, right? So you're not going to be effective. And that's another thing that I've gotten a lot of is my me time. So as much as I'm off work right now, I've also this week specifically been only trying to work a certain amount of time, because now I'm, like Carrie said, I'm going back to work. I don't have the time that I had. So I have to pretend in a way that I'm back to work. So it was awesome because I got to watch a movie today because I didn't spend the entire day working. But I also had planned to do this training last week. So I've had a week and a half to do the training. It shouldn't take me, a full day to do that. So just when you can, sit down, even if you can get 5 minutes, and just plan out the next month. Even if you can just get in your me time, your date nights, and your family time. Those are the most important things. Get those in first.
Okay.
That's more important than your business right now, right?
And did you say you'll tag me in the call?
I'll tag you in it. Yeah. I'll write that down.
Taylor's on her way home.
Is there anybody have any other ideas for customer service? Like other ways that we can improve our customer service?
I use my UPS app. So as soon as I get the email that that the order has shipped, I go and I copy that tracking number into the UPS app, and then I text the customer and let them know that I just got notification that the order has shipped, and it should be to you by the end of the day on whatever day it is.
That's excellent.
And then when my UPS app notifies me that it's been delivered, because you get that updated information, I text them and say, well, my app has just told me that your order was delivered around 2:30 this afternoon. So I just want to check in and make sure that you got it without difficulty. Mm-hmm. And they love that I do that.
I like that idea. That's great.
Mm-hmm. And they say, yep, it's here. Like, I'll open it after dinner. I can't wait. Or I haven't made it home yet, but my daughter told me it was there, or whatever. But then I also have that confirmation that it's been delivered and nothing's kind of grown legs and walked away.
And that's a separate app than just following the links?
No, well, yes. So go to your app store and download the UPS app.
Okay.
And then I just copy and paste the tracking number from the email into the app.
Okay.
And and you can follow it all the way through. It updates the information.
Okay.
And then as soon as it's delivered, I get that alert.
And Rhonda has tagged you, Angela.
Yes, I did. I didn't want to interrupt Carrie to say so. I was multitasking.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got about 3 minutes before it cuts us off. Is there any other questions? If not, I'm going to talk really quickly about the sale. Are we good?
Yeah, any other questions, just type them in the group.
Yeah, just put them in the group. Oh, one other thing in case we get cut off. So those of you that are here tonight are getting an entry into the draw. And those of you that watch the recording. So did anybody here watch the recording on Tuesday?
Yep.
No, okay. So I'm thinking that none of you did because nobody.
Yeah, I did.
Code word. What's the code? Oh, no, don't tell us the code word, Amanda. You have to message it to me. So the code word for tonight's call is Carrie. And for those of you, you guys that are on, don't need to do this. The ladies that watch the recording. In order to get your entry into the draw, you need to private message me with the code word Carrie with a K, 2 R's, I-E. It doesn't matter how you spell it. It does. Anyways, this sale. So I'm just
Hello.
Images.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so how are we feeling about the prices? Carrie, what do you think?
What, of the sale?
Yeah, what are you thinking?
It's not bad. I can tell you I have one very excited customer because Cindy has finally gone on sale.
Good. Is it a color that she likes?
Well, she'd be happy with the herringbone or the graphic weave, and it's the herringbone that's on sale.
Those are on low inventory, eh?
Yeah.
The herringbone? Really?
And graphic weave and the navy stripe.
So I'll have to do a post up for you guys because, oh shit. Okay, here's what's going to happen. This is going to end. Those of you that are okay with coming back on to talk about the sale, I'm going to do a new call. I'll post the link in the group because we're going to get cut off. The freebie only goes for 40 minutes. So those of you that can't come back on, you can watch the thing, okay? So I'm going to stop it now, and I'm going to open up a new link. I'll post it in the group.